Otters fans, and welcome on in to another edition of Off the Record, the official podcast of the Erie Otters. My name is Trevor Cabea. On this week's episode of the show, we sit down with Otters account executive Mike Greenawalt, talk about selling tickets, what goes in to his day-to-day schedule, and his love for sports. Come along, let's have some fun. Well, here we are, another episode of Off the Record, celebrating the holiday season, and we are here with Otters account executive Mike Greenawalt. Mike, it's been a long time coming. We've been talking about doing this one for a bit. Thanks so much for taking some time, man.
Yeah, it's good to finally be here, Trevor. I'm excited.
Absolutely, always fun to talk tickets, talk Otters hockey, and we'll talk with Mike. So, obviously, growing up, Edinburgh grad, growing up in the Erie area. Talk to me about that. And did you go to Otters games growing up? Where did you kind of find that love for the club?
Honestly, growing up, hockey was probably like the fourth sport for me, but the Otters were there. I have pictures in my office from meet and greets and stuff with Snyderman and guys from back in that age. So they've always been a part of my life. Just to be a part of this organization is really something cool.
So you kind of grow up, you go to Edinburgh. When was kind of the desire to work in sports? Talk to me about going to college. Was that always kind of a route you wanted to go down?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I went to Edinburgh for sports management. I've always wanted to work in sports, played sports growing up, but found out at an early age that playing was not my forte. So I was always around sports. I did play sports. I just wasn't captain, like someone who...
You and I both, man.
Yeah, we weren't an OHL player. Let's just put it that way. So always wanted to work in sports. Went for sports management. Knew that from the beginning. Went to Borough. Got my degree in sports management. I didn't get to work in sports a lot coming right out, but it was always still a passion of mine. And then when this opportunity came, it was just a perfect match.
Yeah, started at St. Martin's, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Preschool teacher, school-age teacher. It was a lot of fun, but I'm definitely more comfortable where I'm at now. And I'm still able to use those tools and stuff I learned from working with younger kids on a game-by-game basis. And I mean, some of the kids that I had in school age weren't too much older than the players we have now. So that's also a good thing to have.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to have, and obviously a unique kind of career jump, right? You go from working with school-age kids, working there as a teacher, to working in sports. Walk me through how the opportunity with the Otters arose.
Yeah, so my good friend Chad Westerberg, former Erie Otters employee, was here. He was the director of business ops. I believe there was a transition. They were coming out of the COVID year, so they needed someone quick. I was in the area. He reached out and asked if I wanted to do it. Took like 10 minutes, committed, told him I wanted to do it. And leaving the park that day, one of the kids I had in the van puked or threw up. So that's when I knew that this was definitely the right decision.
That was the sign.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we made the right decision. It's time to move on.
So what was that like, right, making that transition and getting started with the Otters?
I can't imagine going anywhere and having an easier transition. Everybody in the office was amazing to work with. Throwing back, shouting out, Sean and Hallie were both new at the same time as me. Darcy was there. RJ's been there. So people who knew what they were doing and just took me on. And honestly, it was like a family from day one.
Yeah, I remember that. That would have been, what, 21, 22 would have been your first year?
Yeah.
I remember during training camp, Sean had me doing PA. It was my first year as an intern up during training camp. You, me, and RJ were sitting up in the control room, just shooting the breeze, having a good time. I mean, it was a fun time.
It was a great way to get introduced to the team and everything that this job was going to be like. It gave you a good view, and just from day one, it was a great place to be.
Yeah, and again, just the office culture is always a blast. And did you start in the summer then that year? Or was it closer to the season? Well, if you said they needed somebody quick,
yeah.
So it would have been probably pretty close to the year.
Yeah, it wasn't too far out. Again, I believe with COVID, everything was pushed back a little bit. So I think I came in like August. And honestly, the first 3-4 months pretty much babied me. But then after the training wheels came off, like, you know what you're doing and what's expected of you, and everyone holds you to a high standard here.
Absolutely. So then you kind of walk yourself through. You get through that first year, and then the summer comes around. Obviously, in your position, a unique challenge going from season to summer.
Yeah, that was definitely probably the biggest transition for us, because you come in right as the season starts, and you're busy from day one. And then the season wraps up and it's time for summer, and it kind of stops for a couple weeks, and you have to figure out how to manage your time and figure out what's important for you to get done that off season and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a unique, especially in your position. Obviously, Mike, our account executive. I don't know if I gave him the perfect intro here. Account executive Mike Greenawalt. He's the man for the season ticket holders. If you need tickets, Mike's your guy. Walk me through kind of how your position has changed from day one to where you are now.
Yeah, good question. So when I first started, it was mostly like getting partial plans and stuff, and voucher packs, and now it's kind of anything related to tickets. And
at the beginning, that was really when the team had pretty early on in introducing partial plans, right?
Yeah, I believe they had a little bit experience with them, but I think that was when Chad really took over with our partial plans. And I think he did a great job getting us in a spot where we needed to be. And now it's just more of getting those partial plans to full season, or getting someone who's buying single game tickets to come to maybe a partial plan or something like that.
Yeah, that's obviously a unique process. So what does let's start with the summer. What does the summer look like for you in terms of partial plans, tickets? Obviously, there's that date when season ticket renewals, and then season tickets go on sale, then single game tickets go on sale. How does that all work for you, and what is the kind of the timeline of the summer?
All right, so let's just start with summer. And this is summer. I do not sleep in my office during the summer. We're only there for 6 hours a day. We're awake.
Yeah, especially in the summer. Yeah, we're not there all that
yeah,
Monday
so
through Thursday, 9 to 3.
For that. It was fun, but that's one of the great things about summer is we get to try new things, go over new plans, see what other teams are doing and how we can incorporate that into us, what they had successful at league meetings, and just going over like what we did right, what we might need to improve on, and where we can improve. Just a lot of not even trial on air, just trying to figure out what we think is going to work for the next year.
Absolutely. And so the first step, right, is season ticket renewals. That's kind of something that's always ongoing, right?
Yeah, honestly, like, we'll get to January and we'll start for renewals of next year, and 75, 80 people know they're coming back. And that's the great thing about doing tickets with this team is it took me a while, but now I'm starting to know my season ticket holders and knowing where they're at and just getting them comfortable with what they're at.
Yeah, and kind of having that base, right? That general base of, okay, we know that you're a huge fan and you know that you're coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Most of them, it's easy as anything. The card number, the payment might just change, but the majority of these season ticket holders know, like, as soon as we get to January, it's time to renew my tickets. And I mean, I'll have people asking me before I'm even ready to. So that's another great thing about this community and this sport.
Yeah, it's just like the Otter season ticket holder base is so awesome. And then obviously, knowing that they're as committed as they are and ready to go as soon as that buzzer sounds there. All right, let's get it going again. So you get to that date. What's the next partial plans go on sale? Be kind of the next landmark moment?
So about midway through the summer, we'll go on sale with our partial plans, because then we'll have the schedule finalized. It's usually about the time when the promo schedule comes out, so that also helps with those partial plans, because you'll have people that know they want to come for a bobblehead game and they'll pick those games out. So it all comes together nicely in the summer, just building everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like you mentioned, it's all like There's a separate timeline that all these dates hit. There's landmark days for Mike of okay, this goes on sale now, and then you go all in on that, and then single game tickets go on sale a little bit closer to training camp, and then it's kind of all in on that, and just building out what the partial plans look like, and how maybe they change for next year. What is that process like in terms of kind of the growth of the partial plans and what that has kind of looked like over the last few years?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So with our partial plans, like I think the biggest thing we can do with those is see what other teams are doing and how they're using them. The Seawolves are another great way, like seeing what they're doing with some of their smaller ticket packages and stuff, and just communicating. This year we transferred ticketing systems to AXS. There were some growing pains at first, but it has been smooth, and I think we're moving in the right direction. And even meeting with them, like they're able to give you ideas of what other teams in your demographic are doing, like CHL or AHL, or they can tell you a little bit more of what the bigger teams are doing, like the Vegas Knights or something like that. And I think just continuing to take on what they're doing. Because, I mean, even the 5 years I've worked here, hockey, it feels like hockey has gotten bigger. And I think we continue to just grow and push how affordable and fun the Otters are.
Absolutely. I think that's something that has really grown a lot, especially, again, over the 5 years that you've been here, and especially since COVID, right? I think that has certainly been a point of emphasis. So you get through single game tickets, you get through camp, preseason, boom, here we are. What does a game night look like for you? And how does that kind of change game by game?
Yeah, it actually, this season started off where it was a lot of hands-on with the new ticketing system, but ever since we've got into the swing of things, like, we're there at noon to 2, normally just watching college football, or if Jeremy's there and Trevor find a soccer game, we'll put soccer on. Making sure everybody's tickets are in line, obviously, for that game and everything. And then after that, you get ready for the game, and everything kind of just slows down, like you know what you're supposed to do. The first period's usually pretty busy, but then you get a little break and you can watch the rest of the game. And then during the second intermission, we have the hometown hero, where we honor veterans through the DAV, and it's just a great way to get the crowd all into it. It's a break, like the fans are all standing. We can regroup, and good things usually happen after that break.
Yeah, it's obviously unique. So you're pretty much the entire game, are you out on your table in the concourse then?
It used to be. Now more in the store or just walking around.
So you get to watch, how much of the game would you say you get to watch? 75%? Even less?
Last year, probably 75. This year, we're probably at like 50. But
okay.
Again, most of the second and third period, we're watching.
I was going to say, because that's huge too, because a big part of your job is the interaction with fans and obviously the relationships that you build with the season ticket holders. Talk to me about that side of things. And obviously, in that case, you've got to be super knowledgeable about what's going on.
Yeah, it definitely helps knowing about the players, about the staff, about coaches. Just something you can throw out there, like Ritter Coombs is from Jamestown. We have a bunch of people from Jamestown right now who are buying season tickets. So just knowing that connection there. We have players last year had former coaches come up and talk to them about things, and they meet and greet with the younger players. But yeah, just knowing what to push on them, not like push on them, but what to say and like how to sell our players. For instance, last year it was Malcolm Spence and Matthew Schaefer, come see 2 top round picks. But then the other part is also knowing your opponents, because in our league, we had the amount of draft picks that came through here in the 5 years I've been here has been crazy. We saw Michael Misa, Quentin Musty, bunch of dudes on this Windsor Spitfires, Green Tree.
Yeah.
So like, being able to tell people like, oh, that's a cool game to come to. We're playing the number 3 draft prospect in this game, and they're on the other team.
Or even looking at Friday, Kayshawn Aitchison, the Barrie Colts coming to town at time of recording this, right? So that pushing that kind of storyline for yourself.
I mean, he's going to be playing with Matthew, hopefully.
There you go, yeah.
Very soon. So, yeah, that's awesome. And a lot of these kids aren't from the United States. Well, obviously, but just seeing them come down here and talking to them about Canada and stuff is also cool.
Absolutely. And obviously you mentioned Canada. You had the chance to join the team on a road trip a couple of years ago. Talk to me about that experience.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I started watching Shoresy. I fell in love with it because it was based around guys who like hockey. And then I realized that it was actually filmed in Sudbury. So I became a huge Shoresy fan. I got one of the authentic jerseys for Christmas. And then the next year when we were taking our road trip, they set a goal for me to sell 100 holiday packs, I think, just to keep me busy. But we hit that goal. We crushed it, and they let me go. I got to go on a 5-day road trip to Sudbury, Ontario, Sioux, and North Bay. And it's an experience. I don't know how you guys do it. All season.
It's a long, that's a long one, especially the way that trip used to be, right? Like now it's, you go to the Sioux as a part of a Michigan trip, used to be, and now Sudbury, North Bay, they'll toss on another closer Eastern Conference team. Last year was Brampton, this year is Oshawa. So that makes that one a little bit easier than coming home 12 hours from the Sioux. I mean, but when you were going up there, you're probably, man, what did I sign up for?
Yeah, it was, we were on the bus going, and it was the snowstorm that week. I believe this was 2 years ago, that really bad one that we got a ton of snow, and just sitting on the bus driving after Buffalo, and the snow is just coming down and you can barely see in front of you. That definitely crossed my mind once.
You're like, oh man, this is it's a long way up there too.
Yeah, but no, it was everything I wanted. The rink was just like the show. We got to see Sudbury. We got to see all those arenas.
Did you go to the Big Nickel?
I did not get to see the Big Nickel. Yeah, that was we didn't get to do that. That was
that's
one
a shame.
We wanted to, but we
that's a Sudbury landmark.
Yeah. Again, I would love to make that trip again, just not in January or December.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
You know, we were just obviously on that road trip, and wasn't too bad in mid-November, and we were in the Sioux in October, and it was gorgeous up there. Like, it's a really unique area of the country, and obviously just the landscape is completely different. There's a lot of water up there. It's a different way of life up in northern Ontario compared to down here in Erie, PA.
Yeah, it was. It really, like... It honestly is. Like it's hockey up there. Hockey and the outdoors. Guys were on the ice before our game.
Yeah.
For a beer league game and at 5:00 on a Thursday. Like it is a different world up there. But it is cool to experience.
Yeah, it certainly is. What else were you able to get up to on that road trip? What did you like about going to the games, seeing some different rinks, seeing, how different teams do some of the stuff that we're doing? Talk to me about that process.
Yeah, I mean, so I hadn't got to go to a lot of rinks, so just seeing other rinks, charge of 30 teenagers while crossing a border, it's kind of crazy. So just seeing how it was done and like what actually goes into all this stuff. It's not just hockey.
There's a full schedule, right? Like you think of the 9 to 5 work day, but it's we have to be here at this time, then this time, then this. It's a full on day of activities.
Yeah, and I mean we get back from the one game at 10:00. Get to the hotel at midnight, and then the next day we're leaving at 9:00 to go to another hotel to get closer to the next rink we got to play in. And I mean, I just sat up in the box and watched. These guys actually had to go out there and play a full 60-minute game. It's
crazy. Again, when you think about it from the player's perspective and what they do physically, especially a 3-3 with road games mixed in there, it is quite wild. Especially the bus is cramped, it's tight, everybody's got to deal with it. It's just part of playing at this level, but it's incredible. And again, all I do is go up and sit in a box and talk about the game, right? Like, but there's the end of a road trip, I'm whooped. I can only imagine. I mean, obviously these are high end athletes, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is crazy to think about. These kids are under 20 years old. Again, most of them playing in a different country, traveling the border week in week. Like, our season's what, 64 games?
68.
68 games. Yeah, that's so 34 on the road is
Yeah.
a lot for half a season.
Yeah, absolutely is. So, obviously, you spent 5 years with the Otters now, plenty of great memories. Do you have a memory that sticks out from your time with the Otters organization?
I have a couple.
Rattle them off. Let's hear them.
So, obviously, McDavid night, I just go back to that one. Everything we did, everything that happened. That was one night that I'll probably look back on for the rest of my life. Really cool experience. Obviously, every time Sudbury comes to town, I'm a little bit of a fanboy. I do love to see the Wolves. And then Peterborough game last year was a lot of fun.
That was a good one.
So,
obviously, yeah, the inspiration, can we add, with our bobblehead giveaway on November 29th, which will, at the time of airing, have already happened. So, yeah, that was a fun one. That was just everything, obviously, with it being Faith and Family Night, we had a ton
that
of,
was probably the part that made it the funniest.
Exactly, like we had so many groups
Yeah.
there, right? It was a huge group day, and group sales, obviously not super your forte, but also part of what you do. It's a big part of what makes the team successful from a ticketing perspective. But man, I think that just was like the cherry on top to what was already a Otters win. You have a wild sequence of events that takes place. It was quite the day.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is there's going to be a lot of groups there. Well, after this is already passed, so we've already got a lot of groups in for the 29th and the 26th, with it being Thanksgiving weekend. So we're expecting another fun. I'm sure that was a great weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, this will be airing the first week of December. So if you're watching, hey, happy Thursday, welcome. Glad to have you on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network. But yeah, it's obviously that March 2nd game was truly, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've been watching hockey my whole life. You've been watching hockey your whole life. It was quite a unique circumstance. And yeah, McDavid night was just one of those that everybody in the office, just the way that we all kind of came together to make that happen, and everybody chipping in to do their little part to make it this grand night. It was really cool. And to look back on that, that's a career defining moment.
Yeah, that's going to be one I look back on probably for the rest of my life, moving forward for definitely my sport, as long as I'm working in sports. But yeah, like you said, it was just everyone coming together to make that night awesome. And I think that it reminds you in the season you are together a lot. Not so much you and Tim, you guys are out.
Yeah, we're
office.
on the road a lot, yeah.
So there are those times where we are together a lot and people can get kind of snappy, or because you are together. And then after that happens, everyone can take a step back and look at it, and nothing we did was a mistake or anything. It's just someone was tired or just pushed too far. So seeing everyone come together for that, and the home openers every year is another great example of those ones. Just seeing everyone come together in their own spots to make everything work as smoothly and nicely as possible.
Yeah, the home opener is always the craziest game of the year. I say it all the time, right? It's something always goes wrong at the home opener because you got to dust off the cobwebs, right?
Yeah.
Always a chaotic game.
Yeah, we haven't had preseason games here in the last couple of years, so when we have the home opener, we've been jumping right back into it too. After 5 years, it's easier now, but
100%.
It is still one week you're in there 9 to 3, and then 2 weeks later it's 9 to 5, and you got a game Saturday.
Yeah, and it's for you guys, especially in your department, with the shift in the ticketing program and all that, all coming together for the home opener, again, just creates another level of a little bit of chaos there as well.
Yeah, the season ticket holders this year have been great with that transition. I think more of the stress is on them than me, just because now that I have the app and we've worked with it for months, that we have an idea on their end. I feel like we've worked past everything. But yeah, this year coming in, they were switching to flow hockey as well.
Yeah.
So there were just a lot of transitions this year.
even a transition organizationally with
Very
with
true.
everything as well, and how things have shifted under new, old, similar leadership as well. So it's kind of a unique situation. And we talked about McDavid night a little bit and kind of what all came together with that. I've shared this story before, but we were told in August that this was going to be a thing. 2 months later, we announced it. And then to put the whole thing together by January. Like, I love to flex about that for what our staff was able to accomplish, because it really is remarkable in the short turnaround that we all had to make that a thing.
Yeah. Again, I like you said, we were in a meeting in August, and Dave Brown came in, our GM. And normally we have an idea of what's going on. There's been a few times where they come in and drop a ball on us, but it maybe like 3 times, like a bomb on us, and 3 times, and we kind of saw the writing on the wall. But this one to come in and be like, yeah, we're retiring McDavid's number in 2 months, and then all those transitions that we had to get ready for that, it was pretty incredible. And honestly, up until maybe 3 weeks before it, there was this tiny part in your head that was like, are we really going to do this?
Yeah.
Is this really going to happen? And it happened, and I think it went as well as we could have hoped.
100%, especially knowing how close to Christmas break that was, right? You come out of Christmas, you have the New Year's Eve game, and then usually that's following Saturday, and then right out of that, we had a road game on that Wednesday in Guelph, and then here we are, boom, Connor McDavid jersey retirement night. On top of that, you had a big giveaway, a Ty Henry bobblehead the next day.
Yeah, my boy Ty Henry.
Yes, big Ty Henry guy.
Been his fan since day one.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
Again, like, I think this goes back. I don't know if it was that same year that you were there for that, but during a training camp, we were watching players. Ty was the guy that caught my eye. Some people didn't believe me, and 2 years later, he was drafted by the Blackhawks. So that was my ticket into scouting a little more. So hopefully, maybe if the ticket sales don't work, we can get on that end.
Get into the hockey ops side. Of course, where Mike's office is located, by the way, right next to general manager Dave Brown, across the way from Mitch Brown and Scott Grieve. So he's like right in the little hockey ops corner of our office. I think that's strategic, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of stuff you can hear, but it also gives you an idea of what they're trying to do. And it also has reminded me that they are kids. Like,
yeah,
meeting with these kids, like, open door meetings and stuff, you forget that they are teenagers and stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible. Again, I think that's something that gets lost amongst a lot of people, is the fact that these are kids, right? And you know, they're obviously playing at a very high level, but to, again, move to a new country and play a league that puts as much pressure as this league does put on these guys, right? It's pretty incredible. And again, when you have that sort of access, I think it kind of opens your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you forget they're going to that. Some of them are in high school. So, like,
yeah,
just to hear them trying to figure out how to get the kids to school or to a practice or something, it does make you think a little bit. Like, this is not pro. Like, it's as close to pro as you can get, but they're still developing and growing too. Yeah,
well, we were on the bus coming back from Oshawa on Sunday night, sitting in front of Tyler Cooper, Michael DeLessio, all the rookies. As the way the bus goes, it's staff in the front, rookies, and then it kind of gets older, all the way to the back. Oldest guys sit as far back as possible. And talking to Tyler Cooper and Michael DeLessio, they're like, "Oh yeah, like we got school in the morning." I'm like, "Hold on, wait. You guys have school?" Oh my goodness. It completely slips my mind that these guys get back whatever time for a road trip, turn around, and boom, you're right back in class. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a wild phenomenon.
In the practices and everything too, weightlifting and before and after. So yeah, just being able to see all that stuff and hear, that's actually taught me a lot too.
Yeah, just kind of the processes and what goes into putting a team on the ice.
Because, yeah, as you know, too, we talk about sports all the time. So just seeing how they develop or do things, it's cool. And I think you can use that in your our everyday thing, or if you're working with a different sport or something like that in the future.
100%. Let's talk about your office. We talked about the video. Obviously, Mike's office. If you haven't seen the This Is Summer clip or Mike's office tour, right? We did a whole office tour of your office. It's like a museum of memorabilia, Otters memorabilia, just sports memorabilia in general. How'd you acquire all this stuff? Walk me through that and just kind of, what kind of the inspiration for all of it is.
Well, inspiration. This is just my house. I have a room at home. Same thing, just Bill stuff.
Do you just have like a sports room?
Yeah.
Abby let you have that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, that one is all Bill stuff and like all those sports teams. So, sports memorabilia has always been a huge part of my life and collecting and everything like that. And then coming in here, we were just cleaning the promo room one day and found all these old bobbleheads. It started at one thing, and then every time someone would see something or come back from a road trip, they'd bring it to me. I got a bunch of stuff from our road trips too to put in there, and now it is kind of cool because I believe I have like I obviously have all the bobbleheads we've done. So, and it is nice to do too because our graphics guy Pete, sometimes he's the one who designs all the boxes and the graphics for that stuff. He'll go back and look at stuff from years past. So part of it is just an obsession with sports collectibles, but part of it is like I do use it to, hey, this is what we could do with our bobbleheads. You've seen the Pirates ones or Guardians, stuff like that. The Seawolves, they're all in there. But yeah, it's just a big part of who I am and what I've always been into.
Yeah, like talk to me about sports collectibles, how you got into it, and where kind of that love for it comes from.
Again, I think just, I don't know, not a huge sports family. So 7 or 8, I just got really into football and baseball. Baseball was always there, but football more. And I mean, I've always had collectibles and stuff, but I've been able to use that with helping connect with Turn 2 and Collectibles. They're our card sponsors now.
Yeah.
And also like with the companies that make the cards for us. So that's been really cool. And then the other great part about it is just being able to meet some of these players, like CHL cards we have. I got Lucas to sign one from last year and stuff. So like I have all the players that have come through. If they have a card, I get it signed by them just to keep. And
Ty Henry jersey, of
Yeah.
course. Game worn, right? Or is that was just
no, that one's just a replica.
it just got his name on the back there?
We have 2 Ty Henry jerseys, pictures. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a whole Ty Henry collection in there.
Yeah.
Plenty of Ty Henry merch.
Yeah, lots of Ty Henry stuff.
Who's the player that you would have probably the most memorabilia of? Like NFL, MLB, Otters, anywhere, Seawolves.
For me, it's gonna be a weird choice, but Michael Garcia, the third baseman for
the Royals.
Yeah,
Really?
we have the same initials.
Okay, yeah, MG,
So,
yeah.
and MJG, all 3 initials.
Really?
Yeah, so became a huge Michael Garcia fan and just started collecting his stuff. So
Have you ever got to meet him?
No.
No?
not yet.
Well, hey, who knows? You
Yeah,
never-
I did get to meet Quentin Musty through Carrie, so that was cool.
Yeah, that's true. Hamburg, New York's finest,
Yeah.
Quentin Musty.
And I think that could be my favorite part of the job, just meeting some of these kids. Met Ryan Rubrick, obviously, Malcolm and Schaefer, and Malcolm's no longer here, but just seeing what he's doing at Michigan is amazing. Like, I just love D1 hockey too. Like, it's cool that he might not be still playing with us, but he's moving in the right direction.
100%. He's moving closer to playing with the New York Rangers, and when he does do that, well, he was an Erie Otter. That adds to that alumni list, which is continuing to grow. We're almost at 50 guys that played in the NHL that have worn an Otters jersey. So, always exciting. I think that's one of the things for me that I love about junior hockey is seeing these guys go from, playing with Erie. And I was talking with Michael Deck on the last episode of the show, talking about Connor McDavid, seeing him play 34 times a year, 3 years here in Erie, and here he is the best player in the NHL. That is so cool. And even Matthew Schaefer, obviously, being so close to him over the last 2 years, and now here he is lighting it up in the NHL. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the name dropping, but it is probably my favorite part of it. Just being like, yeah, I was on a road trip with Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah, you were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And Spence. So,
Kerry Terrance will probably play in the NHL one day. He was there.
Yeah, Kerry was there. That was another one of my favorite, like, not going back on it, but Native Heritage, those jerseys.
What a
were
jersey.
fire.
Unreal jersey.
I'm glad we got to do that. And I think that's another great point of the organization is Kerry with the Native Heritage and us working together to make that. And his family and friends were so, like, anyone who was at the game was just so nice and genuine. Like, I love that part too.
That was cool. That was an elite night, like elite promo night. The jersey looked incredible. That was a really cool. Those were just warm-up jerseys too, weren't they? Like, what a shame that those didn't get those ones, and the Black History jerseys, which were the year before, I believe.
Yeah.
Those are the two jerseys that didn't get to be seen in a game. Just a crime. Unbelievable.
Yeah, those black ones are crazy. That's the Ty Henry one I have.
Oh yeah, the black. That was the New Year's Eve one, right?
Yeah.
I was talking the MLK Day ones, the white one.
The white one.
Yeah, those are
on it.
sweet.
Those are that might be my favorite jerseys we've done.
That's a really good jersey. But it was only a warm-up jersey.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame that those ones never saw game action. But that one and the Native Heritage were really good. Is there a favorite promo night that you have had other than McDavid night over your time as an honor that you can think of? Obviously, fishing night this year, that's one that you're pretty involved with.
For fishing night, obviously, when Turn 2 comes out in the cards, those are cool. And then we're working on a collector's night this year.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. I'm excited for that. But my favorite, I just had it. Obviously, Ty Henry bobblehead was cool.
That was good. He didn't get to play, though.
Yeah.
He didn't get to play.
Of course. What promo? I'm not to brag, but I was the one who came up with Beers and Bears. So.
Well, hey,
cool. Yeah.
that's been a pretty successful one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teddy bear toss is always my favorite every year.
Yeah.
Like, I love the teddy bear toss. I look forward to it every year. I got to see one on the road last year in Brampton. Granted, it wasn't quite what the one at the Erie Insurance Arena is like, but there's something about the teddy bear toss that I just adore.
Yeah, that's another fun one where you're busy the whole game. Like, you have to be on.
So you're out there collecting.
You have to be ready. And that's one where you can't be, like, running to the store and stuff because when the goal happens, you got to go out there and clean it up. And like, the Bears fly quick. Like,
yeah, once one goes.
Yeah. So teddy bear toss is always a favorite. And then I think the oven mitt last year was pretty cool.
That was a cool giveaway. Unique giveaway.
Yeah. I got a lot of compliments on that from people.
Was that your idea?
I don't think the oven mitt was. Okay. I wish.
What are some other giveaways that have been your idea? Can you think of a few?
I feel like most of my ideas might get passed. Most of them are probably not.
They don't go through the first meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, fishing night stuck, collector's night stuck.
Yeah, fishing night.
Give yourself some more credit.
Yeah.
Man.
Those two I think I'm excited for. So if we can make those big, then maybe next year they'll give me a little more. Actually, I'm thinking about it. Wrestling night last year.
Wrestling night was unbelievable.
RJ and I had been pushing for wrestling night for a couple of years and to finally make it happen. And the way it happened, that was a lot of fun.
It was like, honestly, that was probably my favorite promo night of all of last year. And the next game after that was McDavid night. But just the little skit at the beginning was like, at first I'm like, oh, like this could be tough. Like, I don't know how this is going to go. And then it happened. And I'm like, both benches were cracking up. The refs loved it. Like, because it delayed the start of the game. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be, like, I'm curious how this is going to go over. And it was just, it went really well, and like Big League was so fun to work with. Like it was just a fun night.
Yeah, they were great, and like you said, I was worried when we did the skit at the beginning.
Yeah, like when it started, I'm like, oh, like how's this gonna go?
All the refs and the bench players are looking at you, and then they start doing it, and every single one of them was turned towards the door watching it or was staring at the scoreboard. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a unique one. It was fun. It was over the top, but it was as it should be for wrestling night. Want to step away from the rink really quickly, and obviously you got married this summer. How exciting was that? Walk me through that day.
That was pretty exciting. I got it done before the season started, so
good time management, good calendar work there.
And I knew when the schedule started, so we had that. But a lot of fun. Whole office was there, not including Trevor, but
that's true. My cousin got married on the same day, and trust me, I was not. I don't know if my cousin's going to be watching this, but I was quite disappointed to have to go to her wedding over Mike's. I will put that on the record, off the record.
I appreciate it, Trevor. It was a lot of fun though. Married, so that's cool. And get to wear a ring every day.
There you go. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Obviously, what do you like to do away from the rink? Obviously, fishing, sports, the Bills. What are some of the hobbies of one Mike Greenawalt?
Yeah, like you said, I did a lot of fishing this year and camping. That's been another part. I've gone camping or fishing with season ticket holders, so like the relationships I've made through this job have been great. Sports collectibles, video games, movies, big cartoon guy. Like I love cartoons. Been pushing for cartoon nights, but we haven't got that.
A Simpsons night would be fun.
Oh,
I would be in for that.
Yeah. Okay, Trevor, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Simpsons are honestly probably.
Do you have a favorite cartoon though? Like favorite?
Right now, it's Smiling Friends.
Okay.
But if there was one cartoon that has made a lasting impression, it's The Simpsons. Like,
yeah, I'm a big Simpsons guy.
Yeah,
that type of humor again. Shoresy, Simpsons, Trailer Park Boys. Like, that's like all my like. Mike and I have a lot of very similar. Like we have a lot of conversations in the office.
Yeah,
usually sports related, but every now and then there's some pop culture references.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your love for the Bills. Obviously, I don't know if I've met a bigger Bills fan than Mike.
Yeah, that can be a lot of fun, but also can be a lot of heartache. Love my Bills. Always give a shout out to Josh during the Thanksgiving game and what we're thankful for. Couldn't be happier that he's a Bill. But it's caught. There was been rumors that if the Bills lose, don't talk to Mike the next day or the vibe's off. But I haven't seen that. I don't know. And I remember the worst one was the Chiefs game 2 years ago.
13 seconds.
Yeah, we had a game that night, and we went out for my now wife's birthday, and that happened. Looking back on the other one, we were coming back from Sudbury when they lost to the Chiefs again. That one was possibly the time where Ty Henry wasn't going to be my favorite because he was reading the stats from his phone before the TV on the
that's a cardinal sin, by the way.
Yeah, so
you can't do that.
Yeah.
Chili, our equipment manager, we were watching Game 6 of the World? No, Game 1 of the World Series in Saginaw when, was it Barger hit the grand slam. Chili goes, I think there's going to be a grand slam here, and then the next pitch on the TV hits the grand slam. Like, you can't do that. That's a big time no-no.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one got in a fight over that.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Especially a Jays game in Canada with that
the World
team.
Series.
Yeah, no. I wasn't messing with the Jays. That was another big Yankees fan.
Yankees fan.
That wasn't a lot of fun losing to a Canadian team when you work for an OHL team and all the hockey ops are Blue Jays fans.
I always chirp Mike about the 2001 World Series because that was just you mentioned that being a landmark moment in your life, the Yankees losing in Game 7 in 2001, right?
Yeah.
I was so close. I was out in Arizona this year of getting Mike a 2001 Diamondbacks World Series champions pennant just for laughs. But I was like, that's kind of mean. I can't do that to him.
Yeah, I remember that one too, waking up Mike wasn't allowed to stay up that late, so waking up
Really?
the next morning and
Unknowing Luis Gonzalez walked off Mariano Rivera.
no, unknowing, yeah, I had to wake up the next morning and put on Erie News Now and watch the ticker on the bottom, and then when you see the final score come up, something got thrown and started my day.
Yeah, not a good start to your day, but
They were coming off 3 straight, so
that's true. They were coming off 3 straight. That one hurt worse than 03, the Marlins? Or do you not really remember the 03?
No, I remember 03. 03 wasn't as bad.
I mean, they didn't get walked off. They did lose it at home, though.
Yeah, I was done.
Josh Beckett.
How can you hate the Marlins, though? I know
Yeah.
this is a hockey podcast.
That's true. Hey, I mean, Mike and I will talk baseball all day, though. Like, I am fully okay with talking baseball.
I think that's the best part about working in hockey is you get the summers are so condensed.
Yeah.
You're only in there 6 hours, so we do a lot of the Seawolves games.
Yeah.
If they're ever playing a day game and we're in the office, we're there.
Usually, usually go down for lunch, get a hot dog or something.
So just being in sports is what I've always wanted to do, and I think we're in a spot where I get to do it and be happy.
I think that's a really good way to kind of tie this up and kind of hit you with my last question here. What does the future look like for you? And what, how can you grow in this role? What does that next step look like? Is this a place that obviously you want to continue to build and raise a family? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, obviously, I haven't really thought about moving or going on. I do love working for the Otters. I don't know, because that's like looking back on it, what team would you want to work for? I mean, the Bills, but I don't know if I could do that and then come in to work after losing or something. So I do love the Otters, bleed with them, but I don't know if I could separate the fandom from the
100%.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like the same for me and the Pirates, right?
Exactly.
Like, it'd be tough.
Yeah. So, I mean, for right now, just continuing to build what we have started, where we're going. And I would just like to get us you're going to have to cut a lot of this. Just continue to get us to grow and maybe compete with London, I guess.
Absolutely. That's a great goal to have. This has been a great time. Mike, thanks so much for taking some time, man. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course, Trevor. Thank you, guys.
That'll do it for another edition of Off the Record. We are the official podcast of the Erie Otters. You can find us live every Thursday night on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network presented by Rebich Investments. For our guest, Mike Greenawalt, my name is Trevor Cabea. Thanks so much for joining us on another edition of Off the Record.